So far in this series we have covered agree or disagree essay from 7 essay types, and if you haven't seen this video you can visit the playlist and can see this video. And the next we are going to cover today is advantages or disadvantages essay. So let's begin with this essay. Here I have a simple question that says, in some countries young people are encouraged to work or travel for a year between finishing high school and starting university studies. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages for young people who decide to do this. So first of all, what we are going to see is how to answer agree or disagree question. So I will be having an opening paragraph that will have two advantages and two disadvantages, and then I will have one body paragraph and another body paragraph. The first will discuss the two advantages and the second body paragraph would discuss two disadvantages. Here we will have two body paragraphs unlike the previous one where we had three body paragraphs each explaining a single idea, but here each paragraph will be explaining two ideas, and then we will have a concluding paragraph. So before we start writing, think of two advantages and two disadvantages. And I need to brainstorm first of all the opening paragraph. Okay, the first thing is that you brainstorm the opening paragraph, that you write the opening paragraph, the whole opening paragraph, and then you write the linking words of each body paragraph, and also you decide how many body paragraphs you're going to use and linking words of each body paragraph. That is how you're going to start each of them. And then there is a concluding paragraph, and I won't recommend you to brainstorm it. What I usually do is I just paraphrase the opening paragraph in the conclusion. This saves time and this is technically right. So this is basically, I can say that I will decide the whole structure of the essay while I'm brainstorming. So the two advantages that I can think of for this question is it teaches the sense of responsibility and increased tolerance value. So here you can see that I have been given two things, that is working and traveling. So I have given one advantage of work and one advantage of travel. And for disadvantages, I have given a disadvantage of working and one disadvantage of traveling. So I have brainstormed the two advantages and disadvantages. Let's write the opening paragraph. Opening paragraph is paraphrase main idea and the thesis statement. So I have this main idea. I will be paraphrasing it like this. Paraphrasing is formulating, giving a given idea into your own words, and just always keep one thing in mind, that don't use the same vocabulary. Either use a synonym or change the word morphology. So I have paraphrased this statement as several countries have a practice of promoting work or travel for high school graduates for a year before they begin professional studies. I have avoided here the repetition of words, so these are the synonyms that I have used here. Now, the thesis statement, as we discussed in the previous video, is a statement in which I give all the ideas that I'm going to discuss in my essay. So here they have asked me for two advantages and two disadvantages. So I will be writing two advantages and two disadvantages in my thesis statement. So this is my thesis statement. Several countries have the practice of promoting work or travel for high school graduates for a year before they begin professional studies. There are many advantages and disadvantages for the young individuals who choose to do the aforementioned. While opting for work or travel will help people acquire increased tolerance value and a sense of responsibility, at the same time there is a risk of getting distracted. Moreover, the career of these adolescent persons gets delayed. So combining the paraphrased main idea and the thesis statement, my opening paragraph will be: several countries have the practice of promoting work or travel for high school graduates for a year before they begin professional studies. There are many advantages and disadvantages for the young individuals who choose to do the aforementioned. While opting for work or travel will help people acquire increased tolerance value and a sense of responsibility, at the same time there is a risk of getting distracted. Moreover, the career of these adolescent persons gets delayed. Now that we have written the opening paragraph, let's decide the whole structure, as we discussed that we are going to decide the whole structure before beginning to write. So now that I have written the opening paragraph, I will give the first double idea body paragraph that I am going to start with on the one hand, and the second double idea body paragraph I am going to start this one with on the other hand. That is, I am going to give two statements that are going to be contradictory to each other, so I can start first one as on the one hand and the second one as on the other hand, because first we'll be discussing the advantages and the second will be discussing the disadvantages. And the last thing that I'm going to write in this essay is closing or concluding paragraph. So one thing that is different here is I will be using double idea paragraph. That is, one paragraph will be discussing two ideas here, because in total I need to write four ideas. In the previous essay I had only three ideas, so I use single idea body paragraphs that discussed only one idea per paragraph. So here I have four, so I cannot use four single idea body paragraphs, because that would be so much lengthy. And the maximum we write is three single idea body paragraphs or either two double idea body paragraphs. That is it. So let's start writing. Now that we have brainstormed and decided the whole structure, we can start our writing. Now that we have written our opening paragraphs and the linking words, this is all that we have brainstormed till here. Now let's discuss what double idea paragraph is and how we write it. So a double idea paragraph starts with introducing the ideas that I have already mentioned in the thesis statement, and here I am going to discuss two ideas. So these are in this case two advantages, and this is the opening of my double idea paragraph. And then what I'm going to do is I will be explaining the first idea, and then I will give an example of the first idea that is also the evidence that is in support of my view or in support of my idea or in support of whatever I have written. And then I have to explain the second idea, and then I'll give the evidence for the second idea, that is the example. And one thing that I would like to mention about the example is you do not need to know the example. Whenever I write an example, I come up with an example. I make an example of my own that I think is related, and it's not like you're supposed to know an example relating to the thought. It's just you can come up with anything. The examiner is not, he's looking or he's checking your grammar, and he just needs to know that you're clear in your thoughts. You're not supposed to be scientifically right, or you're not supposed to be historically right. You're just supposed to make relevant examples. That is it. That will give him the idea that you're clear in your thoughts. And the last thing is to conclude your paragraph, and that is we are going to refer back to the first two ideas. And while we are writing our paragraph, we need to keep in our mind that we need to avoid repetition of words, avoid using and also, instead use linking words like moreover, in addition, furthermore, withal, etc. And stick to the ideas introduced in introductory or opening paragraph that you have already written in your opening paragraph, the thesis statement of your opening paragraph, and then use wide range of grammar. And this range, we will discuss this range after we are done with these essay types. Now here I have the opening paragraph, and Just keeping in view what I wrote in the thesis statement, I'm going to start my double idea paragraph. So, on the one hand, traveling or working at a younger age makes people tolerant and responsible. While traveling to different places, tourists come across people belonging to different races and beliefs. These beliefs may be in contradiction to their faith. They see cultural, linguistic, and ethnic diversity that teaches them the art of living in harmony. So, up till here, I have introduced my two ideas. And for the first idea, I have explained my first idea here. And then I'm going to give the evidence for my first idea. Here's the evidence or an example. For instance, an owner of a multinational firm wrote in his book that when he used to start a project in a foreign country, he used to spend at least a year with the natives to be more tolerant and understanding towards them. So after that, I have, according to most employers, new graduates are non-professional and irresponsible. Employment before university shapes them into responsible beings because maintaining a job requires a certain attitude and disciplines. University shapes them into responsible beings because maintaining a job requires a certain attitude and disciplines. So this is the explanation of my second idea, and this is the evidence. For example, a successful professional stated in his interview that he worked part-time while in university that made him responsible, which prepared him for the corporate world. And in the last handwork or tourism after high school teaches tolerance and responsibility required to coexist with the difference and thrive in professional life. This conclusion refers back to the ideas that were introduced in the beginning. This is how we write the double idea paragraph. Now, these things are covered from the whole structure that I have written in the opening paragraph. First, double idea body paragraph that started on the one with on the one hand, and then I will write the second double idea body paragraph, and that would start with on the other hand, and then there will be a concluding paragraph. And I have taught you how to write the double idea body paragraph, so you can easily write this second double idea body paragraph. Now the concluding paragraph. So I haven't brainstormed it, and I'm going to just look at my opening paragraph and I'm going to paraphrase it. So this is the easiest trick, that is, you paraphrase what you have written in the opening paragraph and you start this concluding paragraph with in a nutshell or to summarize or in conclusion, etc. So in conclusion, opting towards jobs in tourism for a year after high school instead of pursuing a university education makes one dutiful and open-minded. So dutiful and open-minded are the two synonyms. Dutiful is a synonym for responsible, and open-minded is synonym of being tolerant. But it also detracts the focus, that is distract, and delays the career. So I have written the same thing, but I have just paraphrased it. So this is my concluding paragraph, which is simply the paraphrasing of the opening paragraph. So this is how we write advantages and disadvantages essay. Hope you found it useful, and if you did find it useful, we'll share it with the one who would also find it useful. Thanks for watching. Bye.